darkness be casted, negativity be cast, accusation be casted, may the light of Christ shine. In the previous video, I talked about why me talking to Nigerians and people in Africa and the world at large to flee from becoming criminal element in the society. And I speak about the reason why people, what enhances criminality, and I dwell on the first reason. Okay, people uses the first thing that people use to justify their criminal activity. I talked about religion, and I talked about the three main religion we have in Africa, and I said that people should not keep covering up for them. These are wicked elements in the society who they don't really want peace. They don't really want truth, but they will use religion to back up their evil desire. And I mentioned that the jihadis that kill in Nigeria, the Boko Haram, the rest of them, even if there are no Boko Haram, they will look for, there are no Islam, they will look for another reason to do killing. They are just bad people. And I mentioned when they came to Meduguri the first time and people were happy, some Muslims that don't have sense were happy that they are killing the Agnes. That was the situation. Killing Christians, they're getting back the country back to the Muslims. Some had that hope, but some didn't like it, though they are Muslims. Suddenly the jihadis begin to kill, they started killing the Igbos, they started killing Christians in the north and the rest of them. Suddenly, they started killing even the Muslims. The Boko Haram started killing some Malams. They killed, I think, people like Sheikh Jafar, and the rest of them were eliminated. They were killed. They bombed some mosques. They bombed mosques. To tell you that they are not fighting for any Allah. They are not fighting for truth. They are fighting for their agenda. They are wicked people. They are bad people. And they just needed a cover. So, to justify their evil behavior, they hide under the jihadism. And I see the teaching of Malams promote such kind of thing. Many Malams that teach about this discrimination. I also mentioned about in Christendom too. I say somebody that listen to teaching like Ebed Amina right now that tell the Christians that if only one believe in Jesus, it doesn't matter what he or she does, the person goes to heaven straight, no matter what. God can never kill a Christian. That's a very stupid way of thinking. And I explained that this teaching, the only reason why a Christian will not do anything evil is only if the person is afraid of government, but not God. So everybody is telling us that today, if somebody can be a terrorist as a Christian, because we have many Christians that are also involved in kidnapping. Their names are John, Peter, and they go to Pentecostal church, Catholic church, Orthodox church, all the churches. No any organization or religion that is immune to human wickedness. There's no organization or religion that truly eradicate evil behavior in its member. It's not true. When the deeper life people came and people were like, hey, holiness, and you find out that the deeper life people who used to commit bad behavior before they become deeper life didn't really stop it, but rather they changed their mode of operation. You discover that true freedom did not come by just believing. It actually supposed to come when somebody truly loves his brother, crucify himself and lay down your life. It's just like you find somebody whom you tell him that okay, like look at what happens in the north. They tell the youth that drinking is punishable by maybe 100 flogging if you're a Muslim. So drinking is not bad. So you know what the Muslim you do? They leave drinking because it will affect them. The society would despise them, and many people won't like them. They won't even have girls that want to love them into marriage. They will consider them as irresponsible because the Quran stated clear, don't get high. Then what did they replace it with? They now replace it with hard drugs, cocaine. Okay, some of them don't even afford cocaine. I went to medical one time and saw a young boy that his hands were swelled up, was begging. And I said, what happened? Like, are you sick? They say that they are injecting kerosene into their blood in order to get high, as in kerosene. So they'll take syringe and needle, they'll take kerosene and draw it, and then inject it into their system to get high for some days. And they're Muslims. Now, as long as they didn't drink, some religious background don't find fault in it. They're like, that will be the only thing. Stop bad behavior. But they didn't say that, that shiga wuta. So nobody, because it is not classified in the religions that kerosene is sin, but alcohol is sin. So they didn't talk about it. So it's like, it's only like maybe it may damage the boy, but it's not trying it to religious duty to forsake that behavior. And some will take tramol and other kind of tramadol and the rest of them, or codeine in excess in the absence of alcohol. And you discover they still achieve the same thing or even worse than those who drink alcohol. So you see, it's not really doing the job in changing people. Deeper Life didn't really change Christian. Community did not really change them. It rather mold them to become another smart criminals. And this is what keep happening around, because the only way you can truly, man knows, the only way you can truly make man to change is to teach him to lay down his life, to love. The church refused to teach love. They were busy teaching holiness, wisdom, power, prophecy. All those things has always been. It didn't change anybody. Anyway, this is an issue. So this is what I pointed out in our first video, the challenges. And I talk about traditional religion too. We can talk about Abba Damina, for example. When somebody who goes to Abba Damina church, believing that he is going to heaven no matter what he does, definitely, you know that he can become a kidnapper. And then he will do it clear consciously. You'll be begging him, please have mercy on me. He will beat the hell out of the person and kill human being and still go and give thanksgiving in church and say, I have a Christian, I'm going to heaven. And then when they are killing him, he will say, oh God, receive my spirit. I don't understand that. Despite what Jesus says, something like, your works is far more important than what you say. Jesus Christ's statement. Everybody might want to pick Peter. Paul's statement. Not all Paul's statements, some of the statement anyway, that, and then try to generalize it. That is the real gospel. Eliminating Jesus Christ's statement, eliminating some of the Paul teaching too, because Paul himself contradicts himself severally. And I don't want to dive into religious discussion. This is a problem. I also mentioned about traditional people. You can not be a Christian if you wish to be, not a Christian if you don't want to be a Muslim. You would choose not to be a Muslim. You could choose to be a traditional religion. The problem, we want peace in our society. Practice your religion. Worship your God. But by that time, your babalao, your spiritual priests, traditional priest, decided to tell you should bring human blood or to bring human spare part of human body, you need to rise against it. We need to eliminate that kind of thing, because by that time you justify it. Tomorrow, you that are supporting this behavior, your child will be the one to be sacrificed on their altar. If you want to worship your traditional religion, do it, but don't kill anybody. If you want to be a pastor or you want to be a Christian, do it, but don't tell people that crime is not a crime as long as they believe in Jesus Christ. It's not true. If you want to also be a Muslim, do it, but don't tell us that you want to do jihad by killing another person who does not believe in Allah. I addressed the point in my initial video that is a complete lie. These people are they lie, they brainwash people, because the point here is this: when you say the Quran say that the Muslims are worshiping the God of Abraham and the God of Jesus, in other words, the God of the Christian and the Jew were first God to the Christian and the Jew before he became God to the Muslims. And then the Muslims came yesterday and then come and said that, okay, we have the original God, you people are the Agni, let's kill you people. That is completely nonsense. The difference, in my opinion, in anybody's view, is simple. Even if it's not personal, the difference that, okay, the God of Abraham, the Jews worship it through Prophet Moses. Then the God of Abraham, the Christians worship him through Jesus. Then the God of Abraham, the Muslims worship him through Muhammad. So if that's the situation, why then did you justify the fact or come up with a conclusion that the Muslims, like the Christians and the Jews, were worshipping no God? Only you worship God, because the difference is just a prophet, the messenger, not the person that gave the message, not even the message itself. So to say, because the person that gave the message, if claiming he is a sovereign God, then he should know what he's doing. Who are you Muslims to call a Christian or a Jewish person as Agni? Who are you? Because if you believe in your Quran, it says that the people of the book, meaning Christians and Jews, which means they are not Agnis. In your own distance, I don't want to dive into serious matter, but why I do this like a preview to bring this to our understanding that please, we want peace in our society, we want peace in Nigeria. We don't want crazy people flying the street in the name of religion who are just naturally bad people. Some of them have even become criminals, kidnappers before they join the jihadists. Some of them, they are criminals. Some of them are in social media and they're celebrating the teaching like they did every teaching about once born again forever. They are celebrating it because that support and cover them to continue their evil behavior. We don't want this kind of thing in our society. And pastors, malams, and traditional priests, be careful with what you preach in our society. What you promote, whether you preach it or you promote by action, be careful with it. We want peace. Now, what we are saying is that the earth must be occupied peacefully. Society must be peaceful. We don't want trouble. Today, Nigeria is covered with so much kidnappers. Nigeria is covered with criminal people who are finding the way to justify why they do what they do. Now, that's part A. Part B, some people justify their criminal activity using or blaming government. Well, government is not doing a good job. The government of Nigeria is a failed government. We know that. Everybody knows that. Not just Nigeria government, Africa entirely is a failed government. Because from the first place, Nigeria, Africa, they don't even have independence. They are still slaves. They are still suffering from systematic slavery. Africa is still suffering under systematic slavery. The government of Africa is still serving the European government. And some are trying to serve the Arab government right now because of the Arabic, what do you call it, the philosophy or political philosophy. And this is the kind of problem we have. You don't have the freedom as an African to be African. When you become an African, you will be what? Targeted. If you said you are African, then you go back to the African system of governance. What we know, the Africans practice kingdom. Africans also live a different kind of lifestyle. No, you are a threat to the Europeans. So the moment you talk about African system of government, African system of society, they call it barbaric and they want to eliminate you. And amazingly, the Africans are believing them like fools. Then when it comes to the Arabs too, when you want to preach the African system that God has given the Africans, the Arab will call you Agni. Now, this is the kind of problem we have in our society. Now, people today who justify their reason to do evil by blaming government. Government collect tax, they don't provide job, they don't do this, they don't do that for this cause, it becomes a reason. And they chop their own for government, we will go chop our own for street. Now, language way you will hear bad boys talk them. So if the Tinubu the thief for government, as they thief their own from public, we will go thief our own for street. Remember, someone created you. Don't mess up God's creation. Do your best as a human. Do your best to live the good life to the best you can as a human being. Even if it means you're going to have challenges, even if it means you're going to have problem, or you are facing a serious issue, I expected you to what? Do the needful. Not giving up. Don't let this government issue discourage you, because whether government exists or not, if you want to be a good person, you'll be a good person. That's the truth. However, government actually has a part to contribute in everybody's life. To say that government cannot be blamed for everybody wrongdoing, it's wrong. It's completely blatant lie. If government is bad, it encourages people to go into criminal activities the more. The weaker ones, people who cannot really fight the circumstances they find themselves in. So they give up. The next thing they think about how to go and get a gun to stand by the road. we want the government to look into what she is doing. It's harming the society. Their silence is harming Nigeria society. Their actions sometimes also harm Nigeria society. The government's silence when it comes to terrorism, the government's silence when it comes to whatever. Okay, how can the government fail in her course to counter terrorism, fight against Boko Haram? The only way they could be able to resolve the Boko Haram, according to them, is to bring them and recruit them to the army. What kind of philosophy is that? Now, if you think you want to do amnesty, it's a bad place to put a terrorist or who was once a terrorist. If you claim they have repented, I don't know what measure the government really measure that the repentance is even genuine. I don't know what kind of instrument Buhari and his administration has measured an ex-Boko Haram to see that true he has truly repented. Because in our constitution we don't have anything like repentance, or do we? There's like repentance in our constitution. This is a religious term. It's not even term that's supposed to be used in an institution or in governance. It's not. It's a religious term. So you call it repentant Boko Haram, and then the best you could do, you didn't put them to guard our zoo. You didn't ask them to do something in the society. You now gave them guns. Let them guard us with a weapon. Let them protect Nigerians. The same people that said we will kill Nigerians because they are not jihadis and Nigeria have to be jihadis, the same people who said that. You now say, okay, come, no problem. You are killing us right now? Okay, don't kill us again. We surrender our life to you. Take the gun, hold it, guard us. Okay. I don't know. Some people, whatever, well, I don't know what the thinking is. You have a goat that steals food in your house. You know, say, and he comes from outside, and I say, no, don't steal again. You know what? My store is open for you, but I'm going to give you to guard my house. And you left the house for him. I don't know what the goat will do with those grains inside the store. However, maybe there are goats where they have really chained them. Maybe we have the genuine repentant one that indeed they are repented. But what about if there are those who are not repentant Nigerians? I don't know what they are looking for. And I don't know what the people are looking for. I'm not saying that government should not give amnesty. I'm not saying that they should not, but why they give them money to go and do business? Why they need to give them to be working in another government sector until they are sure? Take them for some, maybe 10 years. Let's say it's even, because to me it's a violation of the constitution. The constitution said that whoever does that should be what? Should be judged by the court. And anyone that commits terrorism, that kill human beings, bomb people's community, is supposed to be killed. Yes, supposed to be killed. But okay, the government now say, okay, we're not going to kill them so that they will stop it. Okay, you come up with the policy because of national interest. Let's assume it's so. Why don't you put them in some government office to work for like 10 years to watch them, how effective, but not from the bush straight to the army? I don't know what they are looking for, but to me, it's a dumbest activity and behavior one is doing that way. You see, the government is not helping matter. The government failed and blame others for her failure. The government does not do her job, and because the government doesn't do her job, things are not working. Now, I have talked about religious body encouraging criminality too. Now I'm talking about our government and political system encouraging criminality. So you find that there are people, no matter what we say, even if you preach day and night, they will never repent. They will never change their mind. They will always be bad people. The only way we can stop them is by force. That's where the government come in. And if stopping them by force, that's why we have the police. Then people of Nigeria gather money to pay the police, to pay the soldiers, so that they will be able to arrest those people who refuse to listen, who wants to still be what? To be criminals. That's the job of the government. Not to come and say petting criminals. Okay, sorry, criminal. That's the work of a pastor or work of an imam. You let him preach forgiving. Let him preach, calm you down. When the person didn't listen to the pastor and the imam or the parents or the society, what they call it, advice or friends' advice, then let them hand it over to the government to use force. If government does not know how to use force to do the right thing, then she is good for nothing. Let them just go away. We don't need them. If they'll just come and say, okay, a government that is petting criminals, robbing, giving the people who worked, You collect the tax. All you do, carry the money, and then you pay criminals with it. Not like, oh, criminals, and then take it. What are you doing? You are encouraging the youth to tap into criminality the more. People will begin to think of, oh, if that's the case, we too will come out and they will give us what? Because, yes, amnesty. Because you find out that some people today who might be what do you call it? They are low-abiding citizens of Nigeria. They've gone to school, they've done everything that the government said they should do to be successful. They graduate. Ordinary recruits in the army, they didn't have. They have been looking to be recruited into the army for like 7-10 years. They've been rejected. Then somebody who become a terrorist is automatically without any education. He's already given a rank. Then they get you to the army, is simply be a terrorist, and then tell the government that you want to come and you have repented. Then they will recruit you without what? Simple. They will recruit you without certificate, pay you good salary, you secure your future. This is what they're trying to tell us. Then what is the purpose of going to school? You are discouraging the society, the youth, from doing the right thing. You're discouraging our society to become a better place. I'm not saying again, if you have reason to help those who you claim you want to help, who are once terrorists, I don't have a problem with that. But it must not be done with injustice. It must not be done by trampling on the right of people, or people who are doing the right thing, you press them down in the favor of those who are doing the bad thing. And you call it yourself to be government. See you, for the government to fix her error in Nigeria will be difficult. Because you can't come and say you want to drop those guys now out of the army whom you've recruited. That will be little noise. And then, okay, what then can you do? Do we continue in the part of bringing repentant terrorists into the army and then dropping law-abiding citizens not to join the army? You gave them our weapon, you gave them the security of our land to guard us. Well, you have your reason. To me, it looks like you've given power to the hyena to guide your goats in the house. All right? And the hyena can do justice sometimes if something goes wrong. We're not saying that it's like that. It's definitely going to be like that. There's a possibility that some among them will be genuinely have a changed mind. But are you sure that 100% all are changed mind? Or did the government come up with a theory that is it all jihadists, Boko Haram, are all people who decided to be where they are because of hunger? Because they don't have a job? Or there are other reasons that led them to terrorism? I don't think it's only hunger. There are other reasons. And those other reasons, the government did not tackling it by giving them job. So if the other reasons that people become a terrorist is not just this thing, then it should be tackled. So what we are saying is that we want the government to do her duty. We are calling on the government to do her job, to do what she's been paid to do. Government official, do what you've been paid to do. Do not confuse our society with your actions or your inactions. Right now, the terrorism, okay, it's no longer now. The kidnapping in Nigeria is continuing to be on the increase. Government again is not doing anything about it. So to say, there is no any special operation in order to counter kidnapping activity in Nigeria. No, nothing is being done about this again until it becomes like Boko Haram problem. At the end, they'll say kidnappers will go into the maybe this one they will put them for DSS or CSS. What do you call it? Security service or whatever they will give them now as amnesty to the kidnappers. I don't know what they are looking up. We want change.